Hello guys, welcome back to another Code Clubhouse YouTube video, and today we are in for a special one, so tune in. Right, we have already opened our folders and Python file. So we're going to start importing the very necessary libraries that we need in order to achieve the goal that we have today. So we're starting with the CV2 library, the one that's going to actually handle our image and our video. So that's a computer vision library, and that's a very important library in this instant. We also have the SMTP library. Like we said in the last video, that's a server for email handling and all that. We also have the date and time library, and that's self-explanatory. And IMG HDR library is also an image handling library that we're going to use to handle our image and capture it. So yeah, we also have the email sending. We explained that in the last video, so please go check out my last video after this video and enjoy. Yeah, so right now we setting up our SMTP credentials, the ones that are gonna actually log into our SMTP server and be able to send the email. So we're doing that over here. And keep in mind, my CV2 library has a orange underlining there, and that just means that I didn't pip install that. So to install that, we're gonna use the command pip install OpenCV -python, and you run that, and it's gonna install the necessary packets in order to run that library over there. Hence why it's orange, but I'll fix that at a later stage. So yeah, so also remember, when putting your credentials, just for security reasons, I do not put my own email, so I put just a placeholder there. But please remember to put in your own credentials so that you log into your SMTP server correctly. And note that there's usually a problem with the password, and there are countless videos that deal with the password problem when entering your SMTP server, and I put the link on my last video, and I'll make sure to put it on this video also, just to show you how to deal with the password problem. So we have put the sender's email, the sender's email password, and the recipient. You can put many recipients, but you have to put an array in order to put many recipients. Today we just using one recipient, so we didn't need to put an array. But if you want to put an array, just put box brackets and a comma after every recipient email, and that will work just fine. And if you do not understand what I'm talking about, please reference the last video that we posted on the Code Clubhouse channel. So our port number for this is 587, which is the SMTP server port number. Yeah. Moving on, we're gonna initialize our web camera. So this is just the default setting. So we're gonna initialize our webcam. So the code for that is video equals CV2 dot video capture, and by default we're gonna put the parameter as 0. That's the default value there. And then nextly, we're gonna initialize our motion detector. So yeah, the default parameters, yeah. Previous frame should be equal to none, and motion detected should be false. So those are just the default settings, default operators. Thank you. Yeah. And now we're just gonna code the main part of this feature of ours. So this is the code that actually reads the current frame on the web camera. So that's the code that's reading the current frame that's being shown on your webcam, just to check for any details and changes. So usually there's usually a lot of noise on your webcam, so I recommend that you turn the video gray, and that just cancels most of the noise out. So there's the code that actually turns the video gray and actually helps you reduce the noise in the video and actually be able to calculate the motion better than just a clear frame. Just looking for the right color gray. So we're gonna use that one there. And then moving on, we're also gonna put a blur. It also helps with the noise reduction in the video and with the calculation of the motion. So the blur, we're gonna put a blur there. It's called a Gaussian blur. It helps also with reducing the noise in the video and with more helps with more accuracy. I think I'll need to comment on those pieces of code just to help you remember what does what. Please comment on your code so that you just remember what is happening where and what each piece of code does. Because, as I always say, you spend countless hours trying to figure out what a piece of code you have written does. So please comment, and yeah. So this piece of code just sets our previous frame, and it just says that if previous frame there's nothing that is detected, continue with the whole process. So it just sets our previous frame, and this is the piece of code that's doing all that work. And on Python, it's very important to check your indentations. So one thing that will kill you and make you think that your code is not running is just the way you indent your code, because it's going to be an error if it's not correctly indented. So please make sure that you are in the correct line of indentation with your Python code, because yeah, many of us struggle with that and showed us flame in varsity. Remember to comment. Commenting is very important, guys. So now we're gonna put a piece of code that's just gonna calculate the difference between the previous frame that we had and the current frame that we are on. So this is actually the piece of code that's gonna check if there's any motion in the picture. By checking the difference between the previous frame and the current frame, this is gonna tell you whether there's been a motion in your picture or in your video, if I may say. And this is all going to be in a Git repository for referencing, and I'm going to link the Git repository down below. So please don't copy my code, just use it as reference. So I'm going to put this functioning code in a Git repository. I'm going to link it down below and just use it as a reference to see where you have had an error and where you haven't. So yeah, check down my GitHub in the link down below. So this is a threshold code, and this code just highlights the places of significant difference within your video, and this will help you evaluate whether there's been motion in your video or there hasn't been. So this code a threshold, and it does exactly what I just said. What do you prefer kuchanga kashate? No, why? Yeah, kashate. Yeah. Apologies for the slowness. My screen recorder is very, very slow and makes typing very hard because it makes the computer sort of jam. I don't know what's going on there. But I'll find better screen recorders for better videos. Please like, share, subscribe right now. Don't forget to do that. And yeah, look out for more amazing videos like this. And disclaimer, these projects are for educational purposes only. I do not want to go under fire for anything else. So this piece of code right here is what we call a morphological operator. So this just fills in the holes in the video and reduce the noise. So it's called morphological operation. So it helps a lot with, what can I say? It helps a lot with the accuracy of your code and the functionality of what you want to do. Because if there's a security system, you'd want it to be very reliable. So most of the things we're doing is just for reliability purposes. So this makes your system more reliable by performing this whole filling. So I'll comment everything for you so that you know what the piece of code does. Okay, so now we're moving on to the piece of code that actually checks if motion is detected. And yeah, and please comment down below whether in these videos you want me to speak a lot or you want me to keep quiet, because I do not know what to do sometimes. So please comment down below whether I should speak more or keep more quiet. I don't know. Comment your preference. So in computer vision, we have something called contour, and this is what's gonna check the areas in the video and check if there's a rapid change in contour values. And this if statement just checks that. So if your contour values are less than 500, then continue. But if they are not, then motion detected is true. So if there's minimum change in the video, then we do not say that there's been a motion detected. So we continue saying that motion detected is false. But if there is a rapid change in the video, then motion detected would then be true. And that's what this if function is just telling you. This piece of code can be scary sometimes, but once you get the hang of it, then you just be able to do it off by head. Took me a couple of tries in order to get it right, but once you get the hang of it, you actually like know what's being written in the code. And please research what certain things mean. I cannot go through everything in the video, but just a simple Google search will help you a lot. And yeah. So this is just checking things that are in the parameters of the video. So that's what this code is doing. Do not fear the X's and the Y's. Do not think that you're back in maths class. But coding is maths. So if you enjoy it, definitely you have to enjoy maths. Comment down below and like if you like maths. So yeah, motion detected would then be true if it's way beyond our contour values. Yeah. Moving on, we're gonna just display the results of the frame, the code that we're writing here. Let me comment that for you there. Let me comment the function of the code. And then moving on to the best part of the code. This is the piece of code that's going to capture and send images if motion is detected. So this is how we're going to see our thieves. And I feel like I'm going to install this on my laptop to see who always closes the lid when I'm running a server on the laptop, because that's very annoying. Yeah, so this has that function too. So yeah, let's go. So if motion is detected, we're gonna capture the timestamp in which the motion was detected in the format which shows us the year, the month, the date, the hour, the minute, the second, so that in court, when we are saying somebody switched off our server, we know what date was it, what time was it. We have full evidence, Baba. We coming in. So this is where our date and time library actually comes into play. So people that were there thinking, where's the date and time coming in? Nah, this guy wants to show us that he knows coding, what. No, this is where it comes in, Baba. Relax. We arrived now. So that's just where we're gonna put the format of in which we're gonna take our timestamps. Don't be frightened by the percentages and stuff like that. It's just regular. In the path. And yeah, be careful. You have to put squarely brackets, not regular brackets, in order for the code to work. I'd put regular brackets. I noticed that afterwards. I'm gonna fix that right now. And please comment the best screen recorders that you know and just help me out. They have to be free though. We're not gonna pay to teach people. And then we're just gonna prepare our email. So like the last video, it's gonna be, we're gonna call the send email function there. And then the message, we're gonna put in the subject as our motion detected at timestamp. And indentation was killing me here. You see, even people that have been coding for a smaller time, yana, are being killed by indentation. So don't come here and act like you know code. You should know your indentations. Cause me, I was thinking that I know code, but it's killing me out here. So this is where we're gonna put our subject. The subject that's gonna be received by the recipient when they receive the email. Oh, who has been opening your laptop while you're gone? This way it's gonna send the email, and it's gonna put the image there also, so that you know who has been tampering with your stuff. That's why I realized that the squirrely brackets are necessary. I, f- I, f- I forgot to put them there on top, also at timestamp. Oh, I'll I'll make sure that I do that on the GitHub code, but that's how the timestamp should look like even on the image path there. So if you watched the previous video, you'd know what's happening right here. So please go watch it if you haven't. That's like the third plug for the last video. But please support the channel. Like, share, subscribe. I'll keep on plugging. So this is the piece of code that's gonna attach our image to the email. So it's gonna just use the image path in order to attach that. I'm gonna keep quiet now and just let you watch the code. Indentation is killing the boy. And then we're gonna put the file name as the attachment name, and then that will be most of the code that we needed there. And then all we'll be left with is to send the email. So to send the email, we know how to do that, but I'll just show you right now. Also, to send the email, We're then going to call upon our SMTP server again, as we did in the last video. So to call our SMTP server, you're going to use the width. Here, let me just comment what we are doing there. So with SMTP library dot SMTP, our parameters are the SMTP server, and the SMTP server, we declared it on top there as smtp.gmail.com, and our port number is gonna be 587, and we already declared it, so we're just gonna say SMTP port as server. And then we're gonna put our code to start the server as server.start TLS. So that's the code to start the server. And send email. Send us email. These are the parameters of logging into our server that we already declared on top there. And server.send message, then message. So most of the things are already declared on top. That's why we just using the names of the things that we declared in order to make coding much easier. And os.remove image path. So this just deletes the captured image file from the program so that we create space for the others. So we haven't actually imported our OS file. We haven't imported our OS library, so it's gonna be orange. But we're gonna just fix that by importing the OS library. So we're gonna go back to the top because it's saying OS not defined. So we're gonna go to the top where we imported our libraries and just import OS. And as simple as that, we would have our OS library functioning and there won't be no yellow line underneath it. So yeah. So this code deletes the captured image file. And then here's where I got to the problem, because I wanted to code a statement that actually can quit the program using the Q key, but this is when coding humbles you and shows you that you're not the king, it is the king. So this part actually killed me, but I'll try better next time. Maybe it will be in the Git repository down below. So in the reference code, just go check if I put this functionality or not. But I'll try my best to fix and be able to get this up and running when I put the Git repository up. So yeah. I do not know what was the problem, but if you do know what was the problem with this code over here, please just comment it down below, and hopefully we'll be able to get a solution and help each other with the code. I fought a great cause here because I'm trying so hard to make it be able to escape with the Q key, but yo, it doesn't. It gives me the error that the break function should be used in a loop, which I quite know, but it wasn't working for me. I know that, but I didn't have any other way to code it. This was the only way that was in my head. I tried indenting everything, but I just saw that let me just delete that part of the code and then maybe I'll get it on my own time because the recording was starting to get so long. So I just deleted it and then proceeded. So now we're just writing our quit statements, and these are gonna close the program once everything is done, once a motion is detected, and yeah. So we're gonna say video dot release and then cv2 dot destroy all windows, and that will be that for our code. So yeah, this is a working script. Please run it at your own time, and yeah, maybe I'll insert a video showing you how the code runs at the end of this video. But yeah, this is the whole thing that you need for your webcam surveillance camera slash security system. It's not such long code, but yeah, this is it. Thank you for tuning in to yet another Code Clubhouse YouTube video. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.